In any given situation, it is common for each participant to view what transpires in a different light. An actor's past experiences, values, and beliefs may alter the way they interpret an incident, without necessarily making one view false and another view true. There are two sides to every story, and this belief has been validated by rhetorics for centuries. The origins of rhetoric are rooted in Athens in the second half of the 5th century BCE, beginning with a group of innovators called the Sophists. The Sophists called all previously established values into question, and believed that the only thing that could be counted as evidence was human experience. The Sophists' beliefs help to support our claim, as they prove there are always different views to a situation. Even the Sophists' most loyal critic, Plato, viewed dialogue as an ongoing, evolving discourse of understandings, where different actors' prior knowledge and experiences could affect their logical interpretations. This view must be emphasized, since our beliefs and knowledge are not always complete or the same as other actors we may interact with. A possible counter-argument to our claim is that there aren't any sides to a story necessarily, but that the only reality that exists are the events and experiences that transpire. For example, this idea is alluded to when Robert McCullough opened his statement regarding the grand jury's decision by saying that, regardless of the circumstances here, they have lost a loved one to violence. On August 9th, Michael Brown was shot and killed by police officer Darren Wilson. The argument that debunks the notion of sides to a story is this case in particular, which has been proven erroneous by the national backlash that has responded from this grand jury decision. If it is the justice system's duty to eliminate all bias and shadows of doubt in order to make an indictment or conviction, then why was there such disagreement and outrage that occurs after the Michael Brown indictment was made? If there weren't any sides to a story, then after all the evidence is made available, why wouldn't everyone come to the same conclusion regarding this case? If we are to believe that the only reality that exists within this are that, like Robert McCullough stated, Michael Brown was shot and killed by Darren Wilson in an act of violence, then, by definition, Darren Wilson murdered this man and therefore should be treated by the justice system as a murderer. The idea that there are two sides to every story is essential to maintaining the democracy of our nation. One of the 5 canons of rhetoric, invention and discovery, refers to the process of coming up with arguments appropriate to the situation at hand. Different interpretations of a situation are a common and important aspect of this rhetorical canon, as participating actors rarely interpret the same situation in the exact same way. For example, in his trial by the South African authorities in 1963, Nelson Mandela was charged with carrying out acts that were forbidden under existing South African law. To the authorities, the matter was a simple one. Mandela had broken a law and had to be punished for his actions. However, Mandela argued that this law could not be considered legitimate, given that it was imposed by white minority population on a majority population that had no say in its creation. Although the authorities refused to accept these terms in their debate, this case illustrates the importance of recognizing the nature of two sides to every story. If we resign to believe that there is only one true way of interpreting a situation, we put ourselves in risk of being ruled by a single majority who can control what that interpretation is. Mandela says, if you want to make peace with your enemies, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. This shows that while they are not always agreed upon, there are multiple sides to every story, and in order to achieve harmony, we must accept and work with every side of every story.